Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for Season 8 of The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a set of new exclusive promo images that were recently released for the mid-season premiere 809. Now, before we get into these new photos that were released, a couple days ago I did another separate video talking about some other promo images that were released for the next episode. However, in the comment section, I was told by some people that those images are not all from the mid-season premiere from 809, and some of them may have been taken from the 10th episode. I don't know about the details. The article that I got those images from said that they were from the 9th episode, and that's why I thought that those images were from the 9th episode. But that doesn't matter. Those images are taken from the second half. That's what's important. And these images here, like I said, these are most likely all from the 9th episode, but there may be some that are maybe from the 10th episode or an episode after that. But I believe most of these are from the 9th episode. So that being said, let's get right into this. The first image we're going to take a look at is this one, which is a very cool one. I really like this one. It's very simple, but it's effective and it's emotional. We have Carl holding Michonne's hand, and in my opinion, this leads to some very interesting speculation regarding what Michonne is going to go through with Carl's death, and how her experience after this event is going to be different from Rick's experience, and how those two characters are going to mourn together in a way that we will never really see in the comics. Because for those of you that don't know, spoiler alert, in the comics, Rick's love interest, who's Andrea, is dead, but Carl is still alive. So there will never be a moment where Rick and his significant other will mourn the death of his son. There might be a point in the future where another love interest may come along, and we might have this kind of similar situation in the comics at a point that's way in the future, or they may end up not having anything like that for the comics, which is kind of a shame. So in a way, the comic fan part of me hates Carl's death because of the potential story arc that are going to be changed or eliminated altogether. But another part of me is excited about seeing this unfold and how this experience will impact both Michonne and Rick, and how those two characters will basically work together in a mutual way to overcome this death and this loss, and also use it as a source of inspiration. So very interested in that, and also I really like this image. It's very simple, but it's very symbolic in my opinion, and it leads to a lot of very interesting speculation regarding Rick, Michonne, and Carl's death. Next, we have this shot of Rick and Michonne holding Carl. Now, this is pretty much the same type of image that they've released before, with Michonne and Rick holding Carl. It's from a different angle, it's at a different location, but we have seen a lot of this kind of sequence, not only in the promo, but also in the images that were released, so nothing more we can really say about this. The only thing that's very interesting, that I still don't really know how it's going to work out, is why they end up going out of the sewers and going at ground level inside Alexandria. So that's going to be very interesting to see. Next, we have this shot of Carl. This is a very interesting shot, I would say. I don't know why they have this image. It's not really the image itself, it's just the angle that's very weird. Now, Carl doesn't really look like Carl here, but it is Carl, but it doesn't really look like him, which is weird. But it's a cool photo. It's just that the angle is a bit odd, in my opinion. Next, we have this shot of Carl and Siddiq. They're basically taking the lid off of the entrance to the sewers. This is outside of the Alexandria safe zone, and I think at this point we can safely assume that this is part of a flashback where we will see after Carl has been bit, when he and Siddiq fight off the walkers. They basically come to Alexandria, and Carl basically leads Siddiq to the sewers where he can be safe. Next, we have this other shot, which is also most likely a flashback. We have Carl in his bathroom. He is looking in the mirror, and we also have the bloody shirt. So this is when he comes back to Alexandria after he's bit. This is most likely after he basically leads the way to the sewers for Siddiq to go there and hide, and comes back up and goes to his room and checks his wound. Then we have this other one, which is basically the same kind of shot, where we have Carl looking at himself in the mirror, and he's wearing the bloody shirt that's underneath the other shirt that he was wearing. The other thing that's very interesting is that there seems to be alcohol right there in the background, so it's not far-fetched to assume that Carl most likely cleans his wound or does whatever to clean up, and that's why his wound and his bandage is very clean when the reveal comes. We also have this other very cool and interesting shot of Carl with Judith. They're taking some sort of selfie, which is very interesting because I don't think selfies are a thing during the apocalypse, so Carl is keeping selfies alive, which is pretty cool. But I don't know whether this is part of an actual scene or if this is just behind the scenes photos of Chandler Riggs as Carl. But if it is part of the show, then I'm pretty sure it's most likely a flashback scene. Next, we also have this shot of Carl holding Judith, which is, again, most likely a flashback scene. And another one of Carl and Judith painting, which is kind of cute, but this is, again, another flashback scene. So it seems like the next episode is going to be filled with lots and lots of flashback scenes, which is going to be very interesting. But that's basically all the photos that were released. Thank you for watching. I'll be back for another super video.